Hey guys, and welcome back to another Yaa Yaa video. So if you click on today's video, I'm pretty sure you're probably wondering how on earth to grow natural hair or how to start your hair journey. So I'm going to give you guys a few tips on what I think every single person needs to know before they decide to start their natural hair journey. Okay, so straight ahead. Number one, if you're really going to want to start your natural hair journey, you're going to need to sit yourself down and actually be committed. So you're going to have a talk with yourself and ask, why do I want to become natural? You need to lay down the foundation. Is it because you want to try something new? Is it because you're just tired of relaxing your hair? To be honest, no answer is right, no answer is wrong. You just need to make sure that you understand why you're doing it and make sure you're doing it for yourself. Because you're going to want to be committed, you're going to want to stick to it, and you're going to want to follow through if being natural is something that you want to do. So the second thing I'm going to say is what I tell every single person that sends me a DM, like, what do I do to begin? You're going to want to start with trim. Chances are, if you're trying to figure out how to go natural or how to take care of your hair better, your hair is more than likely not in its greatest position, so you're going to want to make sure that you're able to trim your hair. You need to get rid of those dead ends. No matter how long your hair is, no matter how good your hair looks, if you haven't been trimming your hair often or you haven't trimmed it in the past, you probably have single strand knots, you've probably got split ends, and you've just probably got uneven hair. You're going to want to trim as much as you feel comfortable with. If any of you guys have watched my natural hair journey video, I was already involved in the whole hair regimen kind of vibe with my relaxed hair. So I was doing constant trims. So at this point when I decided to go natural, I was trimming off my hair. I didn't trim off all my relaxed hair. I'm not saying cut your hair off. I wasn't ready for it. If you weren't ready for it, don't do it. I was just trimming off the hair that seemed damaged and trimmed it as I went along. If you guys want to see a hair trimming video, I do have quite a few that I should probably post at the top or post in the description box for you guys to have a look at. Start with trim as always. There is no way starting with trim is a clean slate. Even though it sounds like the worst thing ever, I saw a comment the other day, someone saying if I trim off the same amount of hair that you trim off, it won't be the same. But you don't have to trim off as much as I might trim off. Just make sure you're trimming off enough if you are seeing your hair or your ends looking really, really bad. Try and cut it off because eventually your hair is going to grow. So my second point, linking to the trimming, you're going to want to get yourself some hairdresser scissors. I've got a little hair pencil case. From No Not Co. But yes, you're going to want to get yourself some nice shears. Like most of the time they are called shears. These are nice and sharp, they are good. I got these from my hair shop or beauty supply store depending where you're from. And these boys, look. These are some nice sharp scissors. You don't want to have blunt ones. I do have an old pair that are really quite blunt that I did used to use. Like, they're a lot more dull than the other ones I had, and you definitely don't want to use kitchen scissors or craft scissors because then you're just asking for problems. Because when you do cut your hair off, the same way when you're cutting food, you're cutting meat, like, let's just compare this to a steak. When you're cutting a steak and you're cutting and then you're going through it a few times with a table knife, it's not working. But when you have that nice steak knife and you're cutting through, it works. Same way with the ribbon, or you're cutting it with those primary school scissors. And it's not cutting, but it's fraying. Your hair will fray with scissors that aren't sharp enough, or shears that aren't sharp enough, or aren't made for hair. So make sure before you even cut your hair, there's no point trimming your hair if you're going to be using scissors that aren't appropriate. You're just better off leaving your hair as it is, because as soon as you cut them with those bad scissors, automatically you're just going to create more split ends in your hair. So just try to avoid that. And if you can't do it yourself, make sure you go to a professional. Next up, you're going to want to give yourself a routine. And you're going to want to give yourself a routine that you can stick to. It does not have to be something extravagant. I just let people know, no matter what it is, if you're going to be adding a new routine into your life, whether it's dieting, whether it's food, whether it's exercise or hair, you can't just jump in there. Like, go in and be comfortable with what you're able to do. Don't try and exceed things or do things that you don't feel as though you can maintain, because then you just end up giving up and it becomes too difficult for you. So try your best to create a routine that is easy for you, that you know you can stick to. You know, ease yourself in. You know, maybe you might start moisturizing, sealing your hair every week, and then if you start finding that your hair needs a bit more moisture, you do it twice a week. You know, try to deep condition once every time you wash your hair, and then when you find that you want to wash your hair more often, or you like how your hair feels when it's washed, you might want to incorporate more wash days or more conditioning days. Don't just find something or a routine that someone has and just feel like you have to do it. You can jump in if you want to. You know, if you're able to stick to the routine and maintain it, feel free. But if you know that you're someone that you know you can't commit and it's going to be harder for you, ease yourself in, take it day by day, step by step, week by week, month by month, and you will get there. Okay, so the next one is a bit of a difficult one. And I think a lot of people get confused with this, because a lot of the time when I have conversations with people about starting their natural hair journey and things, the products that they like to use, I think a lot of people have a bit of confusion. So we're going to talk about moisture versus hydration. And first what we're going to start off with is hydration. So natural hair is just like a plant and it needs water. To hydrate something, you need to add water to it. So you want to be able to use more moisture-based products. You're going to want to use a lot more water. Get yourself a spray bottle. You can even use an old bottle that you have. I use that for a long time, and just fill it up with water if you do. Or you can get yourself one of these. I love this thing so much. And everything that I do mention here you can find below in the description box on my Amazon link if you want to purchase. So when it comes to product, you're going to want the first ingredient to be water or aqua. So the water in product and the water in the spray bottle is what actually gets your hair to feel a lot more manageable. Your hair needs a lot of water and a lot of hydration, no matter what your hair type is. You can be a type 3A, you can be a type 4C, 4Z, 4K, like whatever. Your hair needs water. So when you're combing your hair and you'll find that your hair is a lot more manageable, when it's got water in it, it's because it's more hydrated. So your hair thrives. As I said, your hair is like a plant, it thrives off of hydration. Similar to skin, similar to the body, when you have or drink water, your body feels a lot more plump. The same way your hair feels a lot more plump when it has water in it. I'm guilty of getting these words mixed up myself, but as you can see here from the definition of moisture versus hydration, this is mainly for skin, but it works the same way. Oil would be something used to moisturize. So before you can even start to use an oil or oil-based products, you're going to want to have your hair hydrated first. You're going to want your hair to have the water in it. The same way you can go longer without food, longer than you can go without water. The same way our hair is. So water is the base. You need to make sure that whenever you're trying to hydrate your hair, or have it looking nice, bouncy and fresh, you're going to want to have water first, and then you can seal it in with an oil or an oil-based product. Shea butter will not moisturize your hair because shea butter has an oil base. So shea butter cannot hydrate your hair on its own. You can't be using things like castor oil to hydrate your hair because it's not going to work. But you can use that to seal in all the hydration. Although oils are amazing, you need to make sure you have the core first before you start adding the sealant on top. So just keep that in mind. Try your best not just to use an oil when you're trying to maintain or grow your hair or put it away. Put in a hydrating product first and then go in with your oils. The next one is starting your hair journey can be a bit difficult because you literally have no idea where to start. So this is not sponsored. I say it all the time. Every single time I mention this brand, it is not sponsored, but I am not gonna lie, they helped me so much. So I started off my hair journey using Treasure Tress, tongue twister. Treasure Tress. I'm gonna put the name somewhere here. And what that is, it's a subscription box. I think they have quite a few in different countries where you can subscribe. I think mine at the time was £20 a month or so, and then they send you products each month through the post. These products allow you to be able to try and find out what you really like and what you don't like. And what I did is I went through like a few boxes, started using them, liked a few things, didn't like some, gifted them to my family and friends. If I didn't like it, someone is bound to like some of the products out there. And in the end, I found my basic, I found my staple, I found my Camille Rose. That is where I found all the things that my hair likes and what my hair didn't like. I was able to stick to that. And as soon as I found what I liked, I cut off the subscription box and carried on buying the products. I'm someone, I don't usually like a lot of clutter, and I don't like hoarding products, so I try to give away as many as I can. And as soon as I find a product that I like, I stick to it. And then I'll try a product here and there just to test it out, but I like what I like, and I know my hair likes what it likes. I like to try new products as well, but I always end up going back to my faves. So don't be afraid if you have to try a few different products just to find out what you really like, because in the end, once you do, the journey just gets so much easier. Next, as a lot of people know, as I always say, I like to do a protective style or two, and I usually recommend that a lot, especially for anyone in the transitioning period or anyone that is finding it a bit difficult to maintain their natural hair. Believe it or not, as natural hair gets longer, it gets easier. I know, and yeah, it does. And I see a lot of things like on my TikTok, people are like, oh my gosh, I would never, let's say it takes so long. No, it's quicker. It's quicker. So don't be alarmed or don't be upset if you feel as though your hair is slightly shorter, you're more frustrated with it, it's harder to maintain. When my hair was shorter, it was harder to maintain as well, so I just tried my best to pop it away. I would do cane rollers going all the way back, and then have like the, do you know those gold beads? I put them in my hair, and it was a nice style. Had it in a bun, still rocking the bun. Relaxed, natural, always rock the bun. Now I do things like braids, or you know, just pop my hair into French plaits. Like, I'm an advocate for leaving your hair alone. Like, I'm an advocate for styling it, keep it in the style for the period that you like it for, but always make sure that you're 80% of the time doing protective styling, because protective styles is what helps you maintain your hair. Your hair grows from its root, but it breaks from its ends. So you want to make sure that you're not always having your ends rubbing off on you or on cotton or getting caught in things. Just making sure your hands are not always in your hair, because when your hands are always in your hair, then you're more prone to breakage, pulling, tugging, and the whole lot. And we don't want any of that. Okay, so next up, we're going to talk about using the right tools. And I'm just going to let everyone know, not every natural hairbrush is made equally, and I found that out the hard way. I have gone through so many. So I had originally started with a fake tangle teaser called by Mizani. I think it was Mizani. And I was just like, no. That stuff ripped out my hair. It ripped out, and I was literally like, oh no, this fake tangle teaser is not for me. I don't ever want to go and use anything like that. So I went for the Denman brush, because that's at the time I started going natural, that's all everyone used. So I used a Denman brush for ages, and I didn't like how it felt on my hair. So with the Denman brush, it has loads of different teeth that you can take out. I took out the teeth for the Denman brush, and then I customized it for myself, and I used that for a few years. But even then, I just knew it wasn't doing what I needed it to do. So not too long ago, I started using a tangle teaser. So I had like the red one, the type 4 one, and I also have the one with the handle. And the tangle teaser changed the game. There's not, as in no one can bring me a brush better than this. Better than this one, the red one. Any of the type 4 or coily curly girl brushes that tangle teaser does, I don't think anyone can actually top it. Like, I'm not even trying to, like, you can give me recommendations, but like, I've tried most of them except for the Felicia Leatherwood one, or Leatherwood, I think that's her name is. I haven't tried that one yet, but everyone else's recommendations have not beat this, and I'm happy, very happy with this. So next up we have the wide tooth comb, and to be honest, I should start with this one, because this is what I use. I've been using this since I was relaxed. Like, this one is amazing, especially because it's not sharp on the ends. I got this from Poundland, very cheap and cheerful. You can hang it on your shower. It is amazing. It's just wide tooth. You don't want to be combing your hair with those small combs, because your hair's just not going to get through it. You want to start from the bottom of your hair, and you want to be working your way up like this until you get closer to the roots. So before I even go in with any comb, I always make sure first I'm finger detangling. You know, make sure that your nails are not snagged. Make sure your nails are in check so you can detangle your hair from your fingers. Then you want to go onto your, look at me acting like my hair is here. You want to go onto your wide tooth comb, and I like to top it off with this. Sometimes I do go straight away with this when I'm in the shower, because it does work wonders. And I know some people don't like using combs at all, but it's all based on preference. Just make sure that you're comfortable with what you're doing, and watch how much hair is coming out depending on which method you like to use. And lastly, my point is, I always say it, please have fun Please have fun with it, please. There are literally no rules whatsoever when it comes to natural hair. Like, I can give you advice, but they are not rules, and guess what, you don't have to listen to it. You can take some, you can leave some, it's all entirely up to you. I would just say the best way to start my natural hair journey is to make sure that you are happy with yourself, within yourself, to begin with it. As I mentioned before, it goes round back to the circle, back to my first point. You need to make sure that you know you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure that you're very, very happy with the reason you have chosen to go back to be natural. And also, like, as I said, it's your hair. It's on your head, as in, like I always say, someone can have an opinion, but when you go to sleep at night and you wake up, the hair is on your head and not theirs. So if you want to wear a wig, wear a wig. Do it safely, but wear a wig. If you want to get braids, wear braids. Again, do it safely, but wear braids. I love braids. I feel like if I wasn't doing YouTube more often, I'd be wearing braids all the time. If you fall back, don't worry, it's okay. Things happen, you can get back up again. And if you decide to go natural and then you don't want to go natural again and you want to go back to relaxer, do it. Do you, because in the end, like, you can always come back to it. You can always come back to being natural again. Like, people always say that, you know, if you relax your hair, you can't go back. That is correct. The hair that is now relaxed cannot go back to being natural. But as I always say, your hair grows. Like, I heard a quote the other day that in 5 years time, if you decide to do something today, 5 years is still going to go past. Whether you did that thing or you didn't do that thing, this 5 years is still going to go. So if you decide that you want to go natural, but you think it's going to take too long, you think 5 years is too long to wait, 5 years is going to come past regardless. So you can choose whether or not you want to be 5 years doing the thing that you wanted to do, or wait 5 years and not do the thing you wanted to do. Because either way, the time will pass. But if you decide that you really do want to commit to it and you do want to carry on, but it is still hard for you, you don't have to do it yourself. There are loads of professionals that are actually really quite good at looking after natural hair that you can go to, that can teach you, help maintain it for you, or even pop it into protective style for you. So there are people you can reach out to if you don't feel like doing it yourself, but you still want to stay natural. You just need to be able to find the balance for yourself. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, I hope you guys love my tips. I hope it was helpful for you. Again, any questions that you guys have, please pop them down below. I would love to hear them, and I would love to get back to you guys on them as well. Feel free to also DM me. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Ciao.